Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and honor to the Heavenly Father, through His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Radash. Next double honors to the elder apostles, Lakia. Next double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, otherwise known as GMS, that rule well, that teach well, that taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is going to be a real quick plantation break lesson. Yahweh Tazah, Lord willing, you're edified. All right, Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the true name of His only begotten Son, man. All right. Now, without further ado, let's get into the title. Through the Spirit, I titled this lesson, Pray that the Lord continues to embarrass these unbelievers. Pray that the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, continues to embarrass these unbelievers, you know? And, what you call it, man? It made me think of Jeremiah chapter 20 because I was reading it earlier, and then I was seeing, this guy, Brothers made lessons about him, and it's not the first time this guy's popped up. This guy that goes by the name of Soldier for Christ with two T's, Soldier number 4 Christ with two T's on YouTube. He looks like a Ethiopian or Somali. You know, more than likely he looks more Ethiopian than Somali. He looks so called East African. And he could be a Jake, and just be a wicked ass Jake, or he could be a heathen man. He could be one of those very same Ethiopian spirits that during Second Kings were brought to the land, and were calling themselves Israelites, and they're getting destroyed off the land, man. And a Levite had to go and live among them to to show them the ways, man. Hold on, let me I know some Kings. I think it says like the God of the land, roughly paraphrasing. Will let me see, Second Kings, if I can find it. Here you go. Second Kings chapter 17. I gotta scroll down. Son, bear with me, y'all. There you go. I'm gonna start to just get to the point. Second Kings chapter 17 is a good chapter. Therefore, the Lord Yahweh was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. Also, Judah kept not the commandments of Yahweh, their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And Yahweh rejected all of the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight. For he rent Israel from the house of David and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following Yahweh and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam which he did, they departed not from them. Uh there's a point until the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. It's talking about the Assyrian captivity. Okay, the northern kingdom, the children of Israel. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Katha and from Ava and from Hamath and from Serviam and placed them in cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. They possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof, which means what? This king, the king of Assyria, brought different heathen from different places, right, that were near, and brought them into the land of Israel, all right, and they possessed them. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he hath sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them because they know not the manner of the God of the land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, Carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence. Right, so get one of the Levites that you brought from there, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the God of the land. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear Yahweh. Howbeit every nation made gods of their own, and put them in the houses of the high places which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their cities wherein they went. So, what you call it, man? And matter of fact, I'm gonna go jump down to 32 as well. So they feared Yahweh and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the high houses, in the houses of the high places. They feared Yahweh and served their own gods after the manner of the nations, whom they carried away from thence. So they worshiped the Lord, right? Or they worshiped the Lord, but then they also continued to worship their own gods too. And the first commandment that Yahweh Bashim Shai ever gave the children of Israel is thou shalt not have any other gods before me. And that word before pretty much goes in front of, like, you're not gonna worship another god while worshiping me. Don't worship any other god, man. Okay. This man, I read all that history just to say that this guy could very well be those same spirits that pulled up, they were trying to worship the God of the Bible, right, Yahweh, but then also worshiping his own gods. And really, he also worshiping his own. He's serving his own belly, man. All right, but now going to the point of the lesson that I was going to. This is Jeremiah chapter 12. I mean chapter 20. So chapter 20, verses 10. I'll start here. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side, man. And these people, they constantly defame the men of the Lord, the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Mainly with Great Millstone, man. Mainly with Great Millstone. Yeah, IUIC gets shit talked about him, or ISUPK, whoever, man. But those, for the most part, be about things that they genuinely do. Okay, Great Millstone gets gets false witnesses born against them, man. Okay, men lie on Great Millstone. You saw that with the whole polite, the whole quote unquote brother polite fiasco, man. And he was projecting. He was saying that, oh man, you guys want little girls and y'all rapists and this, that, and the third. And he was over there dealing with a woman and dealing with her daughter, and being sexual with her daughter, which is against the law. You're supposed to have a mother and her daughter. Same way you're supposed to have two sisters. That was the commandment that Yahweh Bashim Yahshua gave to the children of Israel, man. Okay? There's certain manners we're supposed to behave ourselves. And these things that, we bring out and 100% breaking down the truth of the Bible, even, the great law and that doctrine, right? Which is according to the scriptures. That is what's that according to. We ain't make it up. We ain't come up with it. But you'd hear the breakdown of it, even though you can't disagree with it. Even atheists will bring that out on Christians. They'll be like, "Oh, does God condone our word?" And it'll be like, "No, no, God. So why does it say here in His law and His commandments this? That? Oh, well, that doesn't mean that." And then the atheists will go into the blue letter. They'll go into the Greek. They'll go into the etymology. But these Christians, especially, and a lot of these Israelites, they don't do it, man. They don't do that either. Okay. So then now these same Christians will turn and come to us, us that preach 100% truth of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, into the sincerity to try to bear false witness against us and to try to raise an evil report, which is also against the law, man. Coming up, cutting up videos, be like, oh, well, they said this or they said that or this, that, and the third, but you can't disprove what we're saying throughout the scriptures. Now all of a sudden, you just pedal to the metal and all hands on deck to overthrow the doctrine, the doctrine of the Israelites. But before the Hebrew Israelites were on the scene and were notable and were widely known, man, y'all ain't give a fuck about preaching the scriptures and going to the highways and the byways and being instant in season and out of season. Y'all don't give a damn about that, man. The fucking Jehovah Witnesses was outside more handing pamphlets and shit. But predominantly, man, the spirit of the Lord, the spirit of prophecy wasn't on them because they weren't going out prophesying and they don't understand prophecy. Because if they did, they would understand that the Gentiles in the New Testament are talking about the children of Israel, man. They would understand that. And a lot of them do. A lot of them do understand it, but they refuse to turn from something that they've learned their whole life, man. They're stiff-necked. They're stubborn. All right, continuing on. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report, say they, and we will report it. Right, so they be, hey man, you guys the black Israelites, man, right? Like they come up all crouching, like they don't know who we are. Yeah. Oh, so what do y'all think about blah blah blah? Knowing damn well what we think about, so on and so forth. We tell them, and they'll be like, yeah, yeah. See, guys, they believe in this, that, and the third. All my familiars watch for my halting, saying peradventure he will be enticed. Yeah, man, even Jake, even other Israelites who don't believe they're Israelites are waiting for the Hebrew Israelites to fuck up and to say something that they could be like, oh, see, or to take it out of context or to try to overthrow you or whatnot, man. And that's a precept where it says, let me get that. Yeah, had a technical difficulty. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 13, verse 23. I'm gonna start at verse 22. Actually, I'm gonna start at 20. Wow. As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor. And the elect of the children of Israel, the elect of the nation of Israel are the humble. We're the meek of the earth, man. Lord willing, we're that number. So those that are proud in this world, who they got Babylon the Great and they got money or they got following or they got this or they got that, you know, they abhor us. They hate us. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends, man. And the friends of us are supposed to be fellow Israelites, but you have Israelites come together with other Christians to talk shit about Great Millstone, and they'll bond with that. They'll bond like that, you know. Verse 21, verse 22, when a rich man is fallen, he have many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. He'll say shit that's not right, that's not true, that he shouldn't say, and men justify him. The poor man slipped, and the scriptures talk about a slip of there's a man that slippeth in his tongue, but not in his heart. So he may have fucked up and misspoke, right? But that's not what he meant, and they rebuked him too. Right? And they rebuked him. He spake wisely and could have no place, because the wicked and the foolish hate wisdom. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. And that's all you see, man. That's all you see is all over the world, man. You know, this First Timothy 6:17, charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high minded, nor trust in uncertain riches. Right? And you Christians, you so-called Christians, and you unbelievers, man, like young Pharaoh, prime example. That's an example of niggas who are rich in this world. They have following, they got, so-called friends or whatever. They got house, car, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. They're rich in this world, right? You know what I mean? And the scriptures talk about to not trust in these riches, but to trust in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai. But because you have these riches, you think you don't need a Lord. So you talk shit and you don't reverence his priests, and you forsake his ministers. And you misuse the prophets, man. You don't even acknowledge us as the men of the Lord. You don't even acknowledge us as the men of the Lord, but you acknowledge a TD Jakes ass nigga as a man of the Lord. A Cleflo Dollar, a Geno Jennings, he a man of the Lord. Not you, nigga. You're poor. You know, that's how they move, man. And pray Yahweh Bashim outside, just like he did with young Pharaoh, man, and bugged his ass out. Now he wearing fucking acrylic nails and shit. Pray Yahweh Bashim outside continues to embarrass and expose these unbelieving, scoffing, mocking, filthy, disgusting, wicked niggas, man, who keep coming up against him, man. And that Yahweh Bashim outside continues to reveal him, man. He did it with Polite. He did it with fucking Comfy. He did it with multiple other men, man. And he gonna keep doing it, man. Yahweh Ratazah, he keep the spirit on us, man. You know, I'm gonna end off with a precept. This is Sirach chapter 1. Y'all know where I'm going. If you know, you know. Sirach 1:30. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. So the Most High discover thy secrets, and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation. The midst of the congregation is the midst of all the people, man. Midst of the Israelites. Okay, those whether they believe or not, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. If you truly feared the Lord and your heart had no guile or no deceit, you would acknowledge the things that we say in the scriptures is true, but your heart is deceitful and wicked. So you're not gonna believe something that makes you feel bad or something that you don't agree with. Fuck what you agree with, man. That's it. Point blank, period, man. And I gotta go, Lord willing, is edifying the Federal Spirit in closing. All praises and honor and glory goes to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachakwadash. Next double honors to Elder Apostles, a great millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.